Good. Rowdy crowd here.
Well, Donnie, they lost a couple of corners. The NFL lost a lot of guys. But still pretty good defense y'all faced this weekend, right?
Yeah, you know, they're a Big 12 team, right? So they just rebuild, I guess, or reload or whatever. They don't have to rebuild, but I think they had 7 guys from last year's defense are playing on Sunday. And from what I understand, because I don't get to really watch Sunday maybe till after our season's over, they're all playing pretty good too, is what I hear. So I guess they really were good players. But you know, they got great culture, and they beat enough teams, I think, that they probably got to play these other guys some. And so they've been recruiting well, and they haven't dropped off any. You know, look at them statistically or anything. I might be a week behind here, but going into the open date, I looked at it. They led the nation in sacks. They led the nation in tackles for a loss. They led the nation in scoring on defense. They'd scored 4 touchdowns already on defense. And they've had 4 takeaways they've returned inside the 10-yard line that they didn't score on. That's pretty good defense, you know. And I think what they're giving up 21 points a game, which they're probably not very happy about that because they're used to giving up less than that. So they haven't dropped off a lot. They're just newer names, guys that everybody doesn't know. So it's kind of like that. So it's going to be a good challenge. Everybody said that. Everybody knows that's true. You know, I think our kids are excited about it. I know that they practiced really well this week. And so we're on to Cincinnati, and they got a 31-game win streak. I mean, you can just keep making reasons for, you know, why this is going to be tough. But this is why you do this. This is why you come to East Carolina. This is why you coach here. This is why the guys come here to play, because they want to play in these games. And it's just fun to be back in games like this where people are talking about, we got a chance to go win this game. I mean, somebody I saw was talking about if they beat them or you went out, you're going. I was like, well, if we're talking about that, things are good. You know, we've got a long way to go. We sure not there yet. But like I say, thank God we ain't where we were, you know, when it's already taken inventory by this time of year.
You faced a pretty tough line last two Fridays ago.
Yeah.
How would you compare that to what you're getting ready to face this Friday?
You know, talking about Brigham Young was good. They're very good up front, very strong, mature guys, some older guys. They're every bit as good or better. They got 2 nose guards. You know, they're going to line right up on our center. Avery Jones, I'm glad to see him each day. I hope he don't, not show up because they had a really good one last year, and they got 2 good guys. I mean, so they roll and they keep them fresh. So they're really good there. This, a couple of the linebackers. The one linebacker was the player of the year, I guess, in the MAC, and he transferred to play with his brother. And he might be I think they're voting for him for All-American. We had a thing, Coach was asking, who's the best players, and we're saying these guys. So it's a 3-down front for the most part. It kind of reminds you a little bit more of North Carolina State's defense up front, really strong. Maybe a little more agile, though, than actually State was.
You mentioned them getting sacks, making teams play behind the chains. Do you have to change up your play calling style, especially early and down?
I don't know if you change the play calling necessarily, but I know that I have said this several times this week when we're talking about, what's going to be the script, what's going to make the play calling sheet. Well, if we're not 100% sure, we got to throw that one out because their game, and this is how they do it, is they get you behind the chains. SMU probably would have beat them because the drives they didn't get sacked or give the tackle for a loss, they scored. But there were so many, half their possessions, it was 2nd and 18, and then it was 3rd and 20 something. And those are hard to make. So they just play this aggressive defense where they penetrate and they get so many tackles for a loss. So you do have to, I think, you got to eliminate any play that's too risky probably, like on 1st and 2nd down, or you're going to be so far behind the chains you're not going to have a realistic chance. So I guess really probably yes is the answer to your question, the more I think about it.
You guys played well offensively at BYU in a hostile environment. It has to at least give you some confidence going into another tough environment.
I think our confidence is high. It really is. Sometimes we have to knock the players down a little bit. I think that they get unrealistic. They think they're a little better maybe than I think they are sometimes. But yeah, that was a great atmosphere. It was loud. It was really the first time we'd been in that environment, as the opposing team, I think, in a while. And our kids actually kind of enjoyed it. But they twice we were down in the red zone, and their crowd affected the play. We missed a check where we didn't get it communicated to everybody, and the kids were just like, we just couldn't hear it. We couldn't hear Holton. Could not hear a thing. And then we almost let the clock run down one time and had another busted assignment because Holton said they couldn't hear him. We couldn't get the shift in. We couldn't get it done. They couldn't tell the clock was running down. So we all know about home field advantage. We know what the advantage of that is. You know, this stadium's been known for that at one time too. You know, I think that's coming back a little bit. So we'll get our chance one more time to do that. But this will be that too, I think, because they're selling out Friday night again. It's kind of one of the deals, you know, and it's a tough place to play.
You guys had the extra time for once to kind of sit back and prepare and watch them. I don't know if did you even look at the Navy game, or did you pretty much just focus on their first games?
We didn't watch the film of it that we get. I know that I flipped it over there and looked at a little bit of it, but you know, it was Saturday, and it was, I guess, our first day off since August 1st that I did not have to do anything. And so when I was watching that for about 2 minutes, I thought, well, damn, I'm back at work now, because, you know, that's who we're getting ready to play. Now, I flipped over and watched some of the other games. You know, I didn't feel like I was working, you know, doing that. But when I was watching that about 2 minutes, I said, you know, I'm back at work here now. This is crazy. So I flipped it quickly off of that a little bit. And, you know, Navy brings back a nightmare anyhow, so that's a whole other story we could get into that I don't want to talk about today. But, yeah.
Anything else for Coach? All right,
All
appreciate it,
right.
Coach.
Thank you, guys.